Hi guys! This is actually the second time I'm trying to film this. First time did not go so well. So I'm going to try to show you how I do my little counting pins. I call them nitpickers because I'm always picking out my mistakes with my collection. Now I have a collection of little counting pins in here along with some needles. This is actually a pre-made pin cushion that I got at the dollar store, and it fit nicely in this little ice cream dish that I picked up from the dump, and then I put some trim around it. I did show this in a previous video. There's my seam. But it holds a lot of different counting needles or nitpickers that I've made and I've gotten from friends. I got this one from a friend. This one I made with my little kitty on it. And this is a nice flat bead. I love this one because of the weight of it. It feels really good. I have something to rest my thumb on when I'm picking a thread out. And then I've got some pretty fancy ones, or at least they look fancy. So that's pretty cool. And let's see, I've got a Halloween one, a little pumpkin on it. It's a flat bead. And I've got these beautiful little jeweled and pearled ones. And then I have some over here that a friend of mine made, Tina, and she put them in a pillow that she made. I think this has got that lizard litter in it. Yeah, Tina did this. Isn't this cute? So there's a little flower on the top and a heart one. That one has a little leaf on it. Those are awfully cute. I like to stand these up over by my other collections. So when you're making a counting needle or a counting pin or a nitpicker, I use these boutonniere pins. I think these are almost 4 inches. Let me go check my notes. So I did write it down. These are 3.54 inches. Now you can get these boutonniere pins on Amazon. There's 20 of them for about $14. I like these because they're so long. They have a nice little ball at the end of them. And they come with a little stopper for the pointy part, which is handy when you're transporting them because that's awfully sharp. These are awfully thick though. You can also Google corsage pins, but I would recommend something 3 inches or longer when you're going to be doing stuff like this, because if they're really short, this one's a good length. This one's probably 2 inches. If they're really short, they're harder to work with, but it's, you know, everybody's preference what they like to work with, so each to their own. I'll put up a description of what to do the search for corsage or boutonniere pins on Amazon, or just any of your favorite sewing websites should have these. I have a collection of different beads. Unfortunately, I don't know what size the hole is. It doesn't really matter as long as it fits on the needle. These are just some that I've had in my collection. So all I like to do is play around with different patterns. Do I want to try that green one? Maybe I'll try that green one. And then I just see what it feels comfortable in my hand. Ooh, that's kind of pretty. So that's kind of nice. I do like that. I think I'll do 2 of those. And then I use a E6000 glue. Looks like my cap is seen better days. And then all I do is put glue on the pin, and I kind of twirl the bead back up to the top until it starts to catch. Then you know you've got enough glue. These are very loose on the needle. They're by no means snug, so you have space for the glue. I guess the more space, the more glue you need. And then when you have these little extra pieces of glue in between the beads, you can, if they're really bothersome, you can just wipe them off with a scrap piece of paper. That bottom one feels snug. That's probably enough glue. This actually looks okay, so I'm not going to wipe anything off. And then, that's what this thing's for. It's best to hang them upside down when they're drying. So these I did yesterday in my first take when I did a video. The video didn't really work. My head part of my camera was all over the place. And I'm not happy with how close up I can get. So I need to probably fiddle with my camera settings, but I'm still learning. But I made these yesterday, and they're very, very well glued. They're not coming off. But this gives me enough weight to rest my thumb on the beads. It feels comfortable, and I still have a great length to pick out things. I can hold it closer to the tip if I want to, or I could just like the weight of that. So actually, I don't need to hang these anymore. Boop. I'll put the ends back on them because I might be gifting those as a gift to somebody. I'm going to make another one of those. I like counting needles in sets of 2. I don't know why, but that's just me. So I didn't use this bead. I didn't use the red beads. Let's grab another pin. I wouldn't say rush out and buy beads, but I would play with some needles that you might already have and some beads that you already have. It's a great thing too to go pick up some beads either at a yard sale or Goodwill, so you're not spending a lot initially. Sometimes the strangest looking beads make the prettiest looking counting pins. And heaven knows you can spend a lot on beads. But some of you may already have some at home, and all you need is the E6000. I would recommend getting a smaller tube. You can get E6000 in packs of much smaller tubes. Those are a lot easier to work with because it's easier to get the cap on and off, and when you use up the tube, you don't have to worry about this getting all gummed up and hard to open. I have these large tubes because our daughter, when she was here, our exchange daughter, she was making a lot of jewelry, and she used a lot of this stuff. So we still have quite a few tubes around. I'll just kind of twist it up. That doesn't look bad. My green one's not coming down, so I'm not going to add more to that. Twist it up. This one's kind of loose, so add some more glue here. Boop. Look at that. That's awfully pretty. That looks kind of, I don't know, regal. Very regal. So let's stick that in there. It's hanging upside down. You can always reposition the beads if they're just slightly off-centered and you're not happy with it. So that's about it for making a counting needle. When you've got a messy top like this, it is good to pick off the old glue because it will make your, next time you use it, easier to unscrew the cap. So I do like to pick off the glue boogers. I think I got these little bead containers too, probably at the dollar store or Michael's in their dollar bins. But they're really handy. Yeah, that's kind of clean. Cleaner. So E6000, boutonniere corsage pins, and an assortment of beads. And just play with it. I've got my little stoppers on top of this one, so I'll be careful. Arr! And And when you're gifting these, if you want to gift these to a friend, stick them in a cute little piece of felt that you've used some pinking shears on, and just put them in an envelope or maybe a little box. They make a nice little gift. Or maybe you want to gift them to somebody when you make a little pin cushion. It's just fun to get these. I've gotten quite a few at different retreats, and it's always a joy to get somebody else's creation, and I really enjoy collecting these. And once upon a time, I had them, you know, next to my chair downstairs when I'm stitching, but I find that the kitten gets into them. Stuart's always after things. So right now my stitching table is completely cleared off because he's knocked off some things and actually broke some things. So I'm going to wait till he grows a brain and then I'll try again. But I hope you enjoy the simplicity of just gluing beads and hanging them upside down. I just used 2 boxes to put a piece of styrofoam packing that I got out of a box of I don't know what came to the house. I saved the oddest things. This I can actually take the counting pins out of and use as some sort of backboard for cross stitch. So I do keep some pretty useful shapes around. But look at this. This is almost like a 5x7. So I'll just leave those there until they dry. I give them more time than they need. Sometimes I just leave them overnight, but it's probably an hour or 2 and they're set permanently. And if you have any questions, just drop me a line or a comment. And I hope this helps you create some counting pins or nitpickers. Enjoy. Thanks so much. Bye, guys.